This is the Stingray Show, and coming up on this edition, earlier this weekend on Saturday, we had some breaking news across the SEC as Paul Maneri was let go at South Carolina as the baseball coach after starting 12 and 11, including an 0 and 4 SEC start, plus Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, and there was one other team that I can't think of right now. They made it to the Sweet 16. We are going to do a deep dive into the Sweet 16 of the SEC teams and talk about SEC baseball on this edition of the Monday Morning Stingray Show.
Hi, this is Tim Brando with a reminder. Look out, you're about to feel the buzz of Stingray.
This is Stephen Ray, a.k.a. Stingray, coming to you live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I'm Heath Hopkins. I'm here in DeSoto County, Mississippi, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, Mark, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you feel that responsibility to pay it forward and give some kid a chance coming up in the ranks, kind of like Tony did for you?
Why do you think I'm talking to Stingray tonight?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, look, no.
Heath, Stingray, Here's the deal. When you get involved with Texas, it's like getting married to a stripper. and let me explain this. It looks good. It's kind of sexy on the surface. Yeah. But then you get the baggage, you get the drama, you get all that eventually comes with it. And that's what you get with Texas, and that's what the Big 12 learned.
And Heath, any thoughts on our show moving forward?
Hey, with the Stingray Show, if you don't like it, you better learn to love it, because it's the best show going today, baby. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Ferguson of South's Finest Meats, the official sponsor of the Stingray Show, has a message for you.
Everything we do here is fresh and custom made, custom to order. You know, I tell people when they come in, if you don't see what you like, ask somebody. We've got the capability to process it, make it. If you want a different blend of hamburger meat, we'll do your brisket blend. We'll do your chuck blend. We'll do your sirloin blend. We do all that right here. We are a butcher shop. That's what we do. So please don't be afraid to ask if you don't see what you like. We can make you any size patty you want. We can make you any amount you want. People call me and say, well, how many patties come in the box? Well, how many would you like in a box? You want 12, we'll put 12. You want 25, we'll put 25.
That's just one of the many things that South's Finest Meats has to offer, the official butcher shop of the Stingray Show. The Longhorns of Texas. That was the team that I could not think about in the Open. Alabama, Texas, Arkansas, and Tennessee advance for the SEC into the round of the Sweet 16. Everybody else went home this past weekend, and the Sweet 16 begins on Thursday and Friday of this week. Happy Monday to everybody. Welcome into another week of the Stingray Show, and we are going to have a good show on tap for you guys today. Heath, how are you doing, man? And we got to get to rolling because we got a show here.
Rolling. I'm ready, brother. My bracket's good. I got my tea, my morning tea with me. It's a good Monday so far, man. I got 12 of the 16 right in the Sweet 16. I can get 7 of the 8 right in the Elite 8. I can get 3 of the 4 right in the Final Four, but I can still get the championship game 100% right and the champion. So my bracket, almost great shape. It's really, really good. It's not perfect. No, it's nowhere near perfect. I'd be counting that $1 million already for the bracket challenge, but bracket's looking really good, man. So I'm kind of pumped.
Outside of the big dance this weekend, there was a major firing in the SEC that I talked about in the Open, and I'm going to be honest with you. This one did not make sense for me from the jump, and South Carolina could not find footing with Paul Maneri, and Paul Maneri was let go by South Carolina on Saturday after a very embarrassing loss Friday evening to Arkansas by a final of 22-6. They both decided to mutually part ways, and so also Chris Lemonis's name has popped up as a potential replacement in the offseason for Paul Mainieri up there at South Carolina, but their record as a head coach and this season, they fall to 12-14 after losing the series to Arkansas this past weekend.
Yeah, I we talked about this before, Stephen, on the show. With basketball season, we will start with Kentucky. Kentucky was doing great before NIL, and then NIL gets here, and Kentucky just seems average in the SEC now. And you look at Auburn football, and they were doing great, and then NIL gets here, and now Auburn's just kind of average, if not below average, in football.
Right.
So we've seen these teams who were great all these times. LSU was great, NIL gets here, LSU's not great anymore. Auburn was great, NIL gets here, Auburn's not great anymore. Where everybody else was following the rules and going the speed limit of 70 miles an hour. And and some of these schools were going 110 miles an hour pre-NIL, and they were winning at a high level. Now everyone's going 110 miles an hour, and some teams aren't having success. Paul Mainieri, is he part of that? I don't know. I don't have a story here. I don't have an agenda. But you want to tell me that LSU players have never gotten paid in baseball? Give me a break. Give me a break. We've all heard stories. We've all heard rumors. They're funny. We laugh at them. So, yeah, Paul Mainieri gets back in the college baseball world, where he came from a world where maybe they were the only ones paying players at a high level, or just one of the few paying at a high level. And then NIL gets here and everyone's paying players and he can't win.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not making conspiracy theories this morning. I really don't care. Paul Mainieri's a great coach. You can't argue that. You can't look at me or anybody in the face and say Paul Mainieri's not a great coach, because you're an idiot if you say that. Paul Mainieri's a phenomenal coach. He's got plenty of coaching stops to prove it.
Yeah.
And with that, I think the game just kind of passed him by a little bit. I think that he thought he had time.
Yes.
Maybe 2 years to kind of get some guys in and start turning the things around. And that's the old way of doing things.
Right.
You don't have 2 years. You have 2 minutes. It's the NIL. You've got to find a way to get these guys in. And so, and I'll say this in Paul Mainieri's defense, because I haven't followed the story and I don't know. I don't know, Stephen, if they didn't give him enough money to compete.
Right.
I mean, let's just say that every SEC team, baseball team, is spending, I'm making up a number, $5 million on a roster for baseball. And South Carolina's like, we're going to give you $800,000. Like, what? So I don't know. I know this. South Carolina fans were, and the baseball program was nothing. Ray Tanner came there, had some success. They built on that success. They had great success. They won a couple of World Series, the last one in Rosenblatt Stadium, the new one in the new ballpark in Omaha. And then they competed for another one, but they've slowly gone downhill.
Yep.
Since, and they're still going downhill.
Yeah.
They were going downhill when Ray Tanner was still coaching. They started going downhill after Ray Tanner. They're gone downhill after the second hire of Ray Tanner. So I don't know what it is, but I'll say this about South Carolina. You're spending a lot of money in women's basketball. You're having a lot of success there. I'm just saying, throw a lot of money at the problem. That really helps things. It doesn't fix it, but it helps things.
Another big shocker this weekend on the diamond. I cannot believe this, Haynes, because you and I pegged this last week as a potential sweep of Florida over Alabama. It was the complete opposite. Alabama completely swept the Florida Gators this weekend. And to make matters worse for the Florida Gators, on Friday evening here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama's pitcher, for the first time in 42 years, 42 years, pitched a no-hitter. This was a really bad weekend for O'Sullivan and Florida baseball here in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, if you look at O'Sullivan, I don't know what's going on there either, man. He's been a little bit all over the place. He had some personal issues going on. I hope nothing's wrong, but O'Sullivan's always been a fiery guy. I mean, he'll fight over anything. He'll argue over anything. We've seen that fieriness and chippiness from him, and that's made him successful in life. But it also causes instableness around things around you.
Right.
I don't know what's going on, but man, that shot of him in the dugout. I don't know if you saw that shot where it looked like he was on a 3-day hangover binge and just hating life, and the IRS was breathing down his neck, and ex-wife and girlfriends of past have come to haunt him, and the bully from junior high moved in next door to him. I mean, it looked like his entire life was getting turned upside down.
Welcome back, John. We've missed you last week, my friend.
Well, John, I think that's kind of a given with the biggest stadium and things that I think that's kind of been a given for many years. Stephen, looking at SEC standings, we can start with Mississippi State. Last week went 2-1.
Yeah,
was toward the bottom of, went 1-2 against Arkansas. Arkansas went 2-1 against them there on the road. State was visiting Arkansas at Baum, and they started off weak in SEC play. Now Mississippi State, 1 week later, tied for first in SEC baseball standings.
Yeah,
I mean, you went from one of the bottom teams to tied for first, but sitting at the top, and all these teams have a 4-2 record. This is the top of the SEC standings. Texas, Mississippi State, Auburn, Kentucky, Georgia, Oklahoma, Arkansas, all at 4-2, sitting at 500. Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee, sitting at 2-4. A&M, LSU, Vandy, and the two last place teams coming in at 1-5, Missouri and South Carolina.
Yep.
So it's crazy to look at, dude. Like the opening weekend when LSU and Vanderbilt were playing, both of them were struggling coming in to SEC play. Both of them were struggling, had a lot of issues within. And we're like, wow, whoever wins that LSU Vanderbilt series is really going to kind of get a step up and maybe jumpstart things. But the loser is just going to be spiraling. Nope, they're both spiraling. Both of them are 2-4. Dude, LSU and Vanderbilt both have won multiple national titles in the last last decade. Both of them have won multiple national titles. Both of them are in the cellar in the SEC 2 weeks in.
Right.
This is crazy, Stephen. This is crazy.
Heath, what did you also think about that epic showdown between two of the top teams there in Auburn of Texas and Auburn? That game on Friday night, Auburn walked it off, and then Texas, they just really barrowed down, and they got Auburn on Saturday and yesterday.
Give props to Texas, man. When you lose like that in walk-off fashion, especially after you have ninth inning heroics to put yourself in the lead, and then you give it up, that one hurts. And sometimes that will mess with you for a little bit. But, yeah, they bounce back. So massive props. Look, Auburn's a great team. No one's arguing that. Auburn's a great team. Auburn's going to be a force to be dealt with. Texas has some holes, but they're also a great team. Every one of these teams in the SEC has holes. I have not seen a team yet that just like, oh, yeah, they're clearly the best. That has not happened yet in the SEC. There's a lot of guys in the running, a lot of teams in the running, but there's no team right now that you're like they're head and shoulders above everybody else. That team just doesn't exist right now in SEC baseball.
Right. Now, Heath, speaking of the other big-time topic right now, and that, of course, is March Madness. The disappointing, the struggle, and the heartache this morning is real in Gainesville, Florida, dude. The defending national champions were put out by a Big Ten team yesterday, and Iowa, Florida had a sweep against Alabama, and then they lost by 1 point in heartbreaking fashion yesterday. They are done for the season. I tell you what, man, I would not want to be a Florida Gator this morning.
Yeah, it hurts. I mean, if you root for a team that's won a national title before, even if you root for it, I didn't say play it, I didn't say coach it, just root for it. You grew up rooting for them. You know how hard it is to win a national title. If you think it's not that hard, you're spoiled and you're an idiot. I will say it to your face. It's not hard for Alabama to win a national title. Yeah, it's looking kind of hard right now to win a national title in football again. I said it. I won't back down from it. But Florida won the national title last year in basketball. That was their third national title in basketball. The hardest thing to do other than win a national title is go back-to-back winning national titles because you have such a huge target on you. Yep. You are the bar. Everyone looks at you and, you know, you're the bar. We beat you. You're the champion. We beat you. Although it was last year, you are the bar of success. Yep. Everybody wants to beat you.
Until somebody else takes the crown.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. You know, Stephen, we talked about this briefly last night. Stephen and I probably talked for 90 seconds to 2 minutes last night. And here's the thing. Every year making out your bracket, you need to predict at least one of the 1 or 2 seeds don't make it to the Sweet 16.
Yep.
Like almost every single year, it's a 1 or a 2 seed that do not make it to the Sweet 16.
Right.
And it's just one of those things. It is super rare. I want to say like once every 8 years, once every 9 years, that all the 1s and 2s make it to the Sweet 16.
Right.
So, I mean, it's super, super rare that ever happens.
Now,
Florida was that team, and I didn't see that one coming. I didn't.
Who do you think is the next softest number 1? A lot of people are saying Duke. A lot of people are saying Arizona.
I think Arizona will beat Arkansas. I don't think Arizona makes it to the Final Four. I think they lose in the Elite Eight.
I'm not sold on Duke.
I am sold on Duke. They had a horrible first game, but they survived the weekend. And that's the thing about the tournament, man. Those games that you should lose, but you find a way to win, there you go. And then you need someone in front of you to beat a team and kind of make your run there. But Duke survived that one scare. No one thought it was going to be opening round, I can tell you that. But it is what it is, and Duke's still in it.
Well, Heath, this is from the outside looking in. And, of course, I'm an SEC guy. But this is going to be a hot take that could potentially take off. And you may disagree with me, but I'm right to share my opinion. Am I right? I mean, is that correct, Heath? Am I right?
Hey, it's America. You can have any opinion you want, even if it's wrong.
Can you name me the most overrated team in college basketball every single year? You know, usually and used to when Brian Kelly was the coach, the overhyped team in college football every year was Notre Dame. Can you tell me that team in college basketball?
I would put Arizona there since Luke Olson left. I would occasionally throw UCLA in there just because they have the long history with John Wooden and won so many titles. But let me think on that one. I know we're going to get to you. Hang on. Let me think of a couple of more. I think Michigan's let a lot of teams down. I don't know. Who are you thinking?
Rock Chalk, Kansas.
Oh,
Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? How many times has Bill Self been put up on a pedestal about, oh, this team's so great, and they don't even make the Sweet freaking 16? I mean, come on, dude. I mean, they got beat by St. John's and Rick Pitino yesterday. I mean, they were the darlings of the tournament so many times, and Bill Self cannot produce in crunch time. He is the biggest joke of a head coach and a fraud on the basketball court of Kansas, in my opinion. They are the Notre Dame of college basketball, as they are overhyped.
Wow, Stephen. I'm not touching that one, man. I think Bill Self's an excellent coach. I think Kansas is an excellent program, man. I mean, they invented basketball there. What else you want, man?
I mean, well, look at his track record, dude. How many times has he had great potential to make a deep run and he just falls flat on his face?
I'm gonna use a Google Pass real quick. All-time current winning college basketball coaches. Let's see where Bill ranks. I didn't know this, but are you ready for this? Take a wild guess who's number one currently of current all-time winning active basketball coaches. It's not going to surprise you. Take SEC. Who's the best coach in the SEC?
Calipari.
You nailed it, John Calipari. Number two, a former SEC coach, Rick Pitino, who happened to beat Kansas. And I've also picked St. John's in my bracket, only because of Rick Pitino. Number three, Mark Few of Gonzaga. Number four, Tom Izzo of Michigan State. Number five, Bill Self. Bill Self has 707 wins. Hey, tied with Rick Self, Rick Barnes at Tennessee.
Right.
So John Calipari sitting at 855 wins, Rick Pitino at 763. I would have never guessed John Calipari had more wins than Rick Pitino. I would have never guessed that. And then Mark Few is right there. Tom Izzo, Bill Self, and Rick Barnes tied together. That's crazy, man. That's impressive. But so you would have beat up on Bill Self, and he's got 707 wins. That's fine.
I mean, it's all about championships and what you do in the big dance. And what have you done for me lately? And what has Kansas done for them lately? Not much.
Yeah, let's see. What? Well, give me a second, Stephen. I didn't think we were going to pick on Bill Self today, but I'm okay with it. Let's see here. Let's just get a quick glimpse about Bill Self. Thank you, Wikipedia. No, I do not want to donate. Let's see here. Does it say how many titles he's won right here in the short part? Has he won any national titles? I don't even know. I should. He's won two national titles. He's been to 3 Final Fours.
Right.
He was in the WAC before he got to Kansas. But he's only won the Big Ten tournament once.
Yep.
He won the WAC twice. So yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Yep. Are you ready to bring on our guest for today and talk about baseball, Palminieri, and the teams in the Sweet 16 and recap all of the first round action?
Absolutely. My bracket's good, but I so want to talk about baseball. I'll talk about anything and everything. You're guiding the show. You're leading the show. But I can't wait to talk about SEC baseball.
Chris Lee, Southeastern 16, right outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to the Stingray Show on a Monday morning.
Happy Monday to you. Thank you for having me.
So, Chris, unfortunately, not a great weekend for Vandy. They had a horrible series in Starkville, and then yesterday They were put out by Nebraska, as Nebraska, the Cinderella story, continues there in the big dance. Give us your recap of Vanderbilt baseball and basketball over the weekend.
Yeah, let's start with basketball. I thought that win was there for the taking against a very good Nebraska team. One thing Vanderbilt had been great at was foul shooting. It was shooting about 80% for the year. It was a top 5 team in the country at foul shooting. That really shot foul shots exceptionally well in Nashville last week at the SEC tournament. And then, for whatever reason, did not shoot foul shots well at all in Oklahoma City. In fact, what was it? They were 57% from the line. You change that just to something more along the normal number, and Vanderbilt's going to be playing Iowa next weekend, but that's not how it went. You got to come through with your foul shooting. Tyler Tanner and the shot that everybody has seen, just, you can't get much closer on a 60-foot shot without hitting it than he did. And he missed 2 just like that this year. Had one against Missouri too. But that's how it goes. Congrats to Nebraska for advancing, and what a story that is.
Oh, my gosh.
So, great story for Fred Hoiberg, who everybody seems to like, and so you're very happy for him. On the baseball end, they just don't have any pitching, guys. I don't know what to do there and tell you in terms of that. I mean, let me pull it up just so I've got everything in front of me. But Austin Nye didn't throw this weekend. They were really thinking that having back, he's a first-round type arm. You can throw him in the one hole, and he's kind of an ace, maybe on par with what the rest of the league has. Instead, they're throwing Connor Fennell in that spot. That's not going well. I just don't think he's a number 1 starter. He's probably a number 3. More likely, he's a guy who needs to be, I would say, used like he was last year, where he comes out of the bullpen. You got a guy that's throwing 96, and you go to Fennell, who looks completely differently, and it throws guys off. I think in tandem it works pretty well with him and other guys, but the way it's working now, where he's having to go pitch for pitch with first-round type dudes, it's not working. White Nito on Saturday, who was great last week, just wasn't as good, didn't have his control, and then Saturday was a complete disaster. They've got, I think, 5 of their top 9 arms out right now. I think 3 of those guys haven't pitched all year. I think if you start taking that kind of arms off any staff, there's going to be some issues. But the problem has been compounded by the fact that they've got a lot of older guys who've been good pitchers before for them, like Alex Kranzler, who was great last year in a long relief role for Vanderbilt. It's just been a disaster and was yesterday. Luke Guth has been nowhere near the pitcher he was a year ago. Anything and everything that could go wrong for them, it kind of has gone wrong on the pitching end. And until they get guys healthy, it's not going to change a whole lot.
Right.
Chris, this is a crazy question. None of us know the answer to this. We got ideas, but none of us know the answer. There is a 7-way tie for first place in the SEC right now in baseball.
Goodness.
Texas, Mississippi State, Auburn, Kentucky, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Arkansas all sit at 4 and 2. Some of these teams got beat up this weekend. Some of these teams won. Who would you even put in your top 3 to be the favorites to win the SEC regular season this year? And how confident are you in those top 3?
I think Texas is your best team right now. I think other teams in that discussion, you're looking at Auburn, Mississippi State, Arkansas, maybe Georgia. I need to see Georgia do more outside of Athens, but boy, did it get some stuff done this weekend. Arkansas is going to be the team, I think, at this point with the easiest path. It's gotten a good start. It got one of its toughest series out of the way with Mississippi State. I think if you look at schedule components, they're a team to talk about. But I think right now, Texas is probably the best team, but I don't know that those others are that far behind, although Auburn's claim to that gets a little dicier after losing 2 or 3 at home to Texas.
Chris?
Who's the imposter in that group? Is there an imposter in those 7?
Name the teams again.
Texas, Mississippi State, Auburn, Kentucky, Georgia, Oklahoma, Arkansas.
Georgia.
No, I don't think it's Georgia. I would say probably Kentucky and Arkansas, which I think are really good baseball teams, but I don't think they're on the level of those other teams. I think Kentucky's overachieved a little bit. Again, still a very good team. You can be overachieving and still be a good ball
You
team.
can still host a regional and not be SEC champion.
Yeah, but I don't think those teams, and Oklahoma's pitching, which has been so outstanding, is coming back down to earth a little bit. Now, they went and took 2 out of 3 at LSU, which is never easy,
Right.
and that's despite losing the first game. But I think those teams, to me, are not quite on the level of the others.
Chris, how shocked were you about the sweep of Alabama over Florida this weekend here in Tuscaloosa? It is not a good week to be a Florida Gator because your basketball team, your defending national champions, got put out by Iowa by 1 point yesterday, and then your baseball team gets swept in Tuscaloosa to the first no-hitter pitched by Alabama in 42 years. Your thoughts on Florida baseball?
I was surprised. I wouldn't say I was shocked. I did pick Alabama to win the series. I thought that Alabama, just in terms of lefty-righty matchups, had a big edge if you looked at the rosters. And so I had picked that series, and I did not think they'd sweep. So that was a surprise. But, I mean, Alabama, I think Rob Vaughn's doing a very, very good job there. I think if Tyler Fay pitches like that, they're going to be very tough to beat.
Yes.
They've got to get more out of Miles Upchurch than they got on Sunday. But Zane Adams is a solid and very reliable number 2. Justin LeBron is really hitting. Brady Neal is having an incredible bounce back season that I don't know that a lot of people are talking about. But, yesterday they're down, I think 5-0 in the middle innings, and Florida brings their best guy in out of the pen. Yeah. And it just was an onslaught from that point on. They got 13 runs off the bullpen. And I think if you go back to Gainesville today, you got some questions. I think that is a very talented Florida team. But I think Brendan Lawson had to leave that series early. I need to know a little bit more about what's going on there, but he's hands down their best hitter. And if he's out for any period of time, that's going to be problematic for them. He's been playing shortstop this year. That's a team that had a lot of injuries last year, and you hope that they don't go in the same direction this year with a similar type thing.
Chris, let's finish up from this is my final question for you. The biggest news this weekend, and I think we all saw it coming, Pulmonary, South Carolina, parting ways. Your thoughts on why Pulmonary did not work at South Carolina?
Yeah, it just never felt like it was working. All the strange comments he had this year after series of guys not buying in or however he had phrased it was just kind of weird. It just felt like it was just a matter of time until that fell apart. And when you hear the words quit mentioned after Saturday night or Friday night when they lost 22-6, that's not something you want to hear. And boy, did Carolina play differently from there on out.
Yeah,
losing a 1-run game on Saturday and then getting a 9-4 win against a really outstanding Arkansas team on Sunday.
Yes.
Chris, I'm going to throw one more baseball question at you. No, I'm not going to pick on South Carolina and Missouri. But here at the bottom, all these teams are 2-4. There's 3 teams at 2-4 in the SEC. Vanderbilt, LSU, and A&M. Those are 3 really good teams. Didn't say great, but good teams that just got to figure some things out. Which of these 3 teams are going to be a completely different team and probably hosting a regional here at season's end? And you could say more than one answer. You could say all 3 if you want.
I think Texas A&M is the best team of that bunch, hands down.
Yeah.
I don't think that LSU has got pitching issues. It's had them all year. I saw them in person last weekend, and Cooper Moore, who's been their most reliable starter, left his start, I think, in the 5th inning. That is very, very bad if he's hurt and out for any length of time. we'll see where that goes. I would assume we know more in the coming days, but their bullpen just is not very good. Their number 3 starter yesterday, William Schmidt, who's very, very talented, only gave them 4 innings. He needed 90 pitches to get through it. Case and Evans was very good again, but I do think they've got some issues in pitching that are not getting fixed right now. And I think Vanderbilt just doesn't have any shot unless it's able to get Austin Nye and England Bryan and Matthew Shorey and Aiden Stillman and Miller Green back. I don't know. I don't think Green's coming back for them anytime soon. Maybe they get Nye and Stillman back in the coming weeks, or maybe they don't. If they do, then Vanderbilt's got a shot to flip the script. But right now, A&M is far and away the best of those 3.
Let me throw this at you real quick. The 3-3 teams in the SEC, Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee, those 4 teams all sit at 500 in conference play, all 3-3. I'm actually not shocked by that.
Yeah.
My wife's already told me I'm wrong twice this morning before she left for work. She tells me I'm wrong every day. But not that these teams are bad, not that these teams are going to be bottom feeders in the SEC. These teams will probably all make postseason. But I'm just not seeing any of these teams being higher than a 2 seed here come, after Labor Day.
So
or Memorial Day, excuse me. Not Labor Day, Memorial Day.
Ole Miss and who else?
At 3-3, Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Tennessee if the hitting picks up hosting. I could see Florida if it can get healthy hosting. I could see Ole Miss if their number 2 starter, Cade Townsend, is okay. I mean, they've been really, really good. It's just it's too early in the season, man. You see a lot of times, week 2, what you see in weeks 9 and 10 in the SEC tournament look totally different. I'm not out on any of those teams yet.
Right.
Chris, I'm not out on any of them by any stretch of the imagination, but I guess what I'm trying to communicate is I wouldn't be shocked if some or all 4 of those teams are 2 seeds.
Yeah. I wouldn't be either. I wouldn't
be shocked if they were a 2 seed. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if they were a 15 or a 16 hosting original either. That's kind of where I am with those 4 teams. But I am with you. I think we are on the same page on that one.
Yeah.
Chris, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can coin as rivalry weekend for Mississippi State Ole Miss and Alabama Auburn on the diamond of college baseball. One of them is in Oxford. The other one is right here in Tuscaloosa. Please break down the Egg Bowl and the Iron Bowl of baseball, please.
Don't have much time. I think State Ole Miss is fascinating. Let's see what pitching shows up healthy for both teams. And then the other one was Alabama Auburn.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd have to think about that some depending on where it is. But I think I'll still take Auburn, but that'll be a good one.
Yes. Chris, I'll let you go, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, I got one thing for you real quick, Chris. Kevin O'Sullivan, did you see him in the dugout just looking miserable and hating life?
No, but I heard about it. And that's not
I felt sorry for the guy.
Be. Yeah, I don't know that I'd go that far, but I will feel sorry for him if Hey guys, I'm sorry, I've got to run. I'm getting called for another show, but thank you guys for having me. Yeah, you bet.
Be good, Chris. Chris, a man on the go. He's very popular on Mondays with Southeastern 16, recapping everything that's happened in the SEC. A lot happened in hoops, men's and women's. Lots happened in baseball. So Chris, high in demand, but he always seems to make time for us, Steven. We're always first on his list.
All right, Heath, we really do appreciate him joining us. Sorry that he had to run there because we wanted to get insight on both of those matchups, and we will be doing a preview of both of those over the next 2 days right here on the Stingray Show. But Heath, we're not done yet because we've got a post show to do for you guys with trivia, National Day of Today, and National History of Today. And who knows, we may even throw in a few birthdays for you guys. So let's go ahead and transition into our post show after this commercial from one of our advertisers, Jeff Nee of Alpha Insurance. And Jeff Nee is my personal agent. It's a new year, and now is the best time to review your insurance policies. With a helpful customer service team here to serve you in Alabama and over in Mississippi. For all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs, call the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha Insurance to create a customized plan to protect your family's home and autos. You can stop by his office at 3428 McFarland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or simply call 205-462-8192, or call the number on your screen right there. And remember, with Alpha Insurance, the more you protect it, the more you save. Reach out to the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha today for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. All right, what do you want to start with, Heath?
Let's get deaths out of the way. I never like doing deaths. Let's get them out of the way.
We've only got one. So, today, a British American Oscar winning actress passed away on this day in 2001. She was born in 1932, and any of the boomers out there will definitely remember her, as she was the first woman paid $1 million to appear in a film, and the film was Cleopatra in 1963.
That's got to be Liz Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor.
It's funny, Stephen. Like White Diamonds, the perfume is like you can find White Diamonds now probably at Walmart.
Right.
Definitely probably Target. Like it's one of those things. But I remember when White Diamonds perfume came out when I was a little boy. Like I'm talking like 6, 7 years old. I remember the commercials on TV, and my mama wanted it for Mother's Day, and we couldn't find it. We were driving all over the place trying to find White Diamonds perfume, and now it's like the El Cheapo stuff you can get at. It's not the in thing. It's not the it thing anymore. But yeah, I don't know why there was such a big. Well, I do know why there was such a big thing of it, because it was Liz Taylor and it was her perfume, White Diamonds by Liz Taylor. But yeah, feel free to go out and buy that for your preteen daughter. She'll love it.
All right, Heath. National Day of today, March the 23rd. It is National Tamale Day.
I like tamales. Hey, I just thought of this real quick, Stephen. I know I told someone this the other day. I can't remember if I said this on the show or if I told somebody else. But Liz Taylor was known for being late, and at her funeral, in her will, from the service to the graveside, she told them to make it 20 minutes late, because people say you'll be late to your own funeral, and she wanted to make that happen.
Right.
So like they had the service at 11, and they're like, okay, we're going to the cemetery to have the burial at noon. And Liz showed up at 12:20 or whatever it was, but she had it in her will that she wanted to be 20 minutes late to her own funeral.
Heath, sticking with food. It is a perfect combination, loved by many. Today is also National Chip and Dip Day.
Nothing wrong with that at all. That's half the fun when you go to the Mexican restaurant. Steven, I'm a big chip and dip guy. I don't care if it's French onion dip. I don't care if it's nacho cheese dip. I don't care if it's Rotel. I don't care if it's spinach dip. I love the dips, man. With that, what's your favorite dip, Stephen?
Pimento cheese or guacamole.
Okay, I'm big on the crawfish dip. I love the crawfish dip. I'm a huge fan of that, but love some guacamole. Um, but yeah, there's a Mexican restaurant here in town, Blue Agave, and it's funny because we have two Mexican restaurants that are like a tenth of a mile from each other, and one's called La Siesta, the other one's called Blue Agave, but the same people own it. It's the exact same menu, word for word, price for price. They literally just changed the name at the top. And so anyway, at Blue Agave or La Siesta, you could have this dip. It's got some ground beef in it, and it's good stuff. I can't remember what they call it, but yeah. Well, I won't say they call it Blue Agave dip and La Siesta dip, but there you go. It's still the same dip.
It is also, speaking of food, a dry, crisp, and thinly sliced toast, National Melba Toast Day.
Not to get confused with peach Melba that we talked
No.
about on this show about a month or so ago.
I
Still want some peach Melba, man.
do too.
I like peaches. I don't love peaches, but I like peaches. But peach Melba, and after I looked at the pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, why are we not making that here in America?
No.
Yeah, feel free to look this up, everybody. Google peach Melba near me. And I don't know where you live, but there was like one bakery in Memphis, but they didn't serve it. There was one place like in Atlanta, Georgia, and like the next place was like somewhere in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, the three closest places is here, Atlanta, and the United Kingdom. And after you look at pictures of peach Melba, oh my gosh, like, why are we doing this? Steven, maybe we need to have the Stingray Peach Melba shop or something.
Yeah.
The Stingray Peach Melba factory.
Yeah.
You just sell peach desserts.
Heath, what is one of the most nutrient-rich foods on the planet?
Oh, you're asking the complete wrong person about eating right and nutrient. What do you got?
Today,
Cheerios? I don't know.
National Chai Day.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
I'm a big tea drinker. Maybe I need to start incorporating that.
Yes. All right. And getting off of food, there is one thing that does not have to do with food today, and it is a fun and cute one for a ton of people out there. Today is National Puppy Day.
I got you. Steven, I know you got cats. When's the last time you've had a dog?
When I was really, really young, maybe 9 or 10.
And what was your pup's name?
I don't remember. It ran away. So I didn't even get to name it because it ran away. So.
Oh, Steven, I'm sorry.
I'm like, all right, cats it is. Cats it is.
Oh, and then now we answered the old age question. Who let the dogs out? Steven did. They just ran away.
Yep.
So
all
there
right.
you go.
Heath, let's go to national history, please. All right. Can you tell me what major speech is given March the 23rd of 1775?
Well, it didn't start out 4 7 years ago because that was way after. And that was Lincoln. 1775. You're going to have to guess Washington made the speech. No. Benny Franklin.
When I say it, you're going to go, ah.
Yeah, who was it?
Give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry proclaims that in a speech showing support for Virginian troops to join the revolution.
You know what? Patrick Henry doesn't get enough love in U.S. history. Yeah, but he gets some love, but he didn't get enough love. We should, I've been screaming that we need to make the day after the Super Bowl a national holiday. Like, I've either move the game to Saturday or make Monday, because it's the most called in sick day of the year
Right.
for the American working class, is the Monday after the Super Bowl. But we need to make a holiday for that, and I'm okay if we make it after Patrick Henry there. I mean, that would be nice. Or we could call it Liberty Day. I don't want to call it Death Day. That would be a little too much. But
All right.
yeah, see, that's not a bad idea. Just thinking it off the cuff. It's Liberty Day.
Yes.
Oh, what day is it? Is it like on the 4th of? Nope. It's just the Monday after the Super Bowl. It's centered around football.
Yeah.
And I'm okay if we still move the game to Saturday. Move it to Saturday and get the Monday off. Like, dude, that's now you get to go see like old friends and childhood friends and college roommates and make a weekend trip out of it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, let's all get together and let's drive to Vegas and watch the show or watch the Super Bowl. Like, you could do that.
Heath, what is open to the public for the first time on this day in 1857, and it really took off and is still done today?
1857?
And it happened in New York.
I mean, is it plays? Is it?
It's something you ride in.
The press? I have no idea.
It's something you ride in.
Oh, ride. I thought you said riding. I guess a car.
The first commercial passenger elevator opens to the public.
Nice. Now, Stephen, is there any elevator that you've been on where you're like, wow, this is a nice elevator, or this is a nice view? Maybe it was a glass elevator and you get to look out. Or maybe it was like a glass elevator inside a beautiful architectural masterpiece building. And you're riding up looking out into the lobby and like, wow, this is a nice place. Is there an elevator that comes to mind that you're like, oh, this is really cool? What is that for you?
You're going to laugh. You're going to chuckle. You're going to go, ha! It is the elevator at the pyramid to go up to the restaurant at the top, dude, where you have Bill
The
Gates.
world's largest freestanding elevator at the Bass Pro Shop?
Yes, at the Bass Pro Shop, where you have Bill Dance talking about and narrating all of the fish from the Tennessee River as you go up, dude. That is so awesome.
Believe it or not, Stephen, I have never been on the elevator at the Bass Pro Shop at the Pyramid. The world's largest freestanding elevator. I've never been on it.
Dude.
I've never got upstairs.
Dude, do you know that to ride the elevator
It's like
to go
$5, $10
up
or
the
something.
restaurant, they charge you $10.
Yeah, and when you're a family of 6, we ain't riding the elevator. I'm not paying $60 to go up a couple of floors. Like, oh wow, that was nice. Like, I'm not doing that.
That is so ridiculous, man. They nickel and dime you to death, dude.
And this is why Bass Pro Shop is highly successful. But if you'd like to be a sponsor, we'll do the show from the elevator every morning if you need me to.
Yes.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I remember I rode the elevator at the Stratosphere, the casino in Las Vegas, the tallest building west of the Mississippi.
Yes.
And I remember, like, that thing is like a rocket. You get on and it goes up like, I can't remember how many stories, 60 stories in like 5 seconds or something stupid like that. I can't remember. And so is Wahlburger still the restaurant there at the Pyramid?
I don't know. But remember the night that we went to the sound stage before?
Yeah, I remember you went up to the Bass Pro. Everyone goes to the Bass Pro.
Before we met you, I ate at that restaurant up there. It's really good.
Well, there you go. But the Stratosphere elevator, that was stupid, man.
Right.
That was insane. And then what was the other? I remember there's an elevator. There was one at the Oak Court Mall, and there was one at the Metro Mall in Jackson, Mississippi, where the elevator, it was only one story, but you come down into water. And the water's right there. And of course it's glass, but it looks like you're coming in the water into the fountain. I remember as a little kid thinking that was so fancy.
Right.
Yeah, but you're just going like one story, like, oh, okay, I'm coming from the Gap, coming downstairs to go to, the cookie factory. What was the cookie place in the mall?
Great American Cookie.
Well, yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, I was like, oh wow, we could take the steps, we could take the escalator, but no, we're gonna ride this fancy elevator to land in a fountain with dirty pennies and nickels.
Can you tell me what sporting event happened on this day as we move to 1948?
I mean, basketball is going on, but they used to play March Madness earlier in the year. So I'm not going to guess March Madness. And the Masters is not timed just yet. We're almost there, so I'm not going to say the Masters. I'm not going to say NASCAR. You smirked. Is it NASCAR? Okay. I saw you smirk there. Like, of course, it's not football season. And Steven, you got me on this one. Something in the NHL. I have no idea.
The 10th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, Kentucky wins their first national title when it beat Baylor 58-42.
Wow.
So
usually the tournament was played earlier. I wouldn't have guessed that.
So Kentucky basketball won their first basketball national title in 1948.
Adolph Rupp, I'm sure, was coaching that team.
Yep.
And that's Kentucky fans have not been the same ever since.
All right. Now, Heath, can you tell me what game show debuted on CBS on this day in 1950?
I love my game shows, but man, that's 25 years before I was born. Was it like Password or something? I know they've redone Password a million times. Yeah, just go on and tell me.
Beat the Clock.
You know what? If that was multiple choice, I might have gotten that because I know that was an old game show.
All right. And Heath, a little bit more about this show. This show provided a then unknown James Dean his first job in TV in 1952, testing the challenges done on the show, but he was reportedly fired from this job for being too good at the challenges.
And James Dean could never get a break, man.
No.
Poor guy. I'll say this, Stephen. We all know this. You're more famous when you're dead than you are alive.
Right.
No one talks bad about you after you pass. And they don't talk about good things. I mean, if James Dean lived to be 94 years old and passed away of natural causes, like no one would talk about him.
Right.
It wouldn't be a big deal. But since he died such a young man and in his prime, we could, same thing with Elvis. I mean, Elvis was past his prime. He was still doing things. He was still recording. He was still putting out good stuff, not great stuff. Well, I'll take that back. I like Fat Elvis. I thought Elvis did his best work right before he died.
Yeah.
But man, I tell people all the time, if Elvis was still with us, I haven't said this in about 15 years, but I was like, if Elvis was still with us, like he would be like a sideshow at like Branson, Missouri.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, do you want to go see Donnie and Maria, or you want to go watch Elvis and Branson?
Right.
You know, like, yeah, he would be playing like your local Springfest carnival that would come through. Because I mean, no, it's kind of like look. I'm not hating on the Temptations, but it's kind of like the Temptations coming through town now.
Right.
Like, are you really going to stop everything you're doing to go watch the Temptations? No. You know, and they're playing at some venue, and there's probably going to be maybe 1,000 people there, 500 to 2,000 people there. But you mentioned Elvis now. Well, he had one of the biggest movies in America just a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
I mean, it's just, yeah, you're more famous when you're dead.
Let's talk about music for two things. Can you tell me what single was released on this date in 1970 and it became the Billboard Song of the Year in 1970? Pop and country.
What would be a classic country song? Man or woman?
Man. You used to talk about this guy all the time.
Not Kenny Rogers.
No.
Kenny went big in 70.
You said he was pretty dirty for his time.
Oh, boy. Conway Twitty.
With what song?
Is it Tiger in these tight-fit jeans? I thought it was in the 80s.
Hello, darling. 1970, Conway Twitty, March the 23rd, releases Hello, Darling, becoming the Billboard Song of the Year.
Conway Twitty. You ever hear that Louis Gazard joke talking about Conway Twitty?
No.
Louis Gazard talked about, the great comedian. He was a sports writer at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and then he became an opinion writer, and then it just kind of took off from there. He was so funny, but he said he did these stand-up comedies. I mean, he was like a dirty Jeff Foxworthy. Yeah, I wasn't born until December of 75, very into 75. But I was there for the bicentennial, though. I don't remember a thing about it.
Yeah.
But he talked about Louis Gazard told the funny joke that brand new Methodist minister came to this small country town there in Georgia. He looked just like Conway Twitty, and went around to meet some of the folks and knocked on the door, and guy opened the door. Lord have mercy, Conway Twitty sitting there at my door. Honey, get over here. Conway Twitty's here to visit us. No, sir. I'm not Conway Twitty. I know I look like him. I get that all the time. And so he said, I didn't mean to, get you too excited there and disappoint you. Goes down a couple of doors, knocks on another member's door. Lady answers the door. Oh, Lord Conway Twitty, let me hug your neck. He's like, no, ma'am. I'm the new Methodist preacher. And this and that. Goes a couple of doors down, knocks on the door. Well, the young first grade teacher had just graduated college and had just moved to town. And she was about to get in the shower, and she opened the door, and she was wearing her towel. And she's like, oh, my goodness, Conway Twitty. He's like, hello, darling. Yeah, Louis Gazard, man. He had so many funny stories. But if you're not familiar with Louis Gazard, please, you working out in the yard, you're doing some spring cleaning, you're doing whatever, put that on. You got a long drive to go on. Please pick any album and you will laugh your tail off. He was so funny. We lost him way too soon. He died of cancer, but they mentioned him on College Game Day every now and again and talk about it. But he had a lot of SEC jokes. He made fun of every school in the SEC and he told so many great stories. But yeah, every time I think about Conway Twitty, I think of about 5 or 6 songs. And then after those songs, I think about Louis Gazard. Conway Twitty.
Yep. Heath, Let's move to 1977. What major event happened in music in 1977? And this is really sad, dude.
Oh, it's sad. Let's say Kiss was big in 77.
It wasn't sad at the time because nobody knew it, but looking back on it now, it's like, man.
Man, you got me on that. Freddie Mercury got AIDS. I have no idea.
March the 23rd, 1977, Elvis Presley begins his final concert tour before he passes away.
You know, there's a thing here in Memphis, and you'll see something pop up. I don't know, every 8 months or so around here. He was going to perform in the Mid-South Coliseum, and back in the day, you'd have to go stand in line at the venue or stores around town, sometimes record stores. Pop Tunes here in Memphis was the big stores that you'd use to get your concert tickets.
Right.
But you'd get your concert tickets there at the store and or at the venue, the Mid-South Coliseum, where he was going to do that concert. And then if the concert got canceled or something happened, you could always take your ticket back. They would refund your money. And here, like I said, every few months, at least once a year, you'll see someone here in Memphis that will have 2 unused concert tickets to Elvis. A lot of people took their tickets back and got their money back. Mom and Dad, my parents, had tickets to that concert. Dad took the money, but I want to say Dad's like, man, them darn tickets were $15 each, $30, man. He goes, that was a lot of money back then. A tank of gas was costing you, $7, $8. And he said, $30 was a ton of money. I mean, so yeah. Tom T. Hall, man, yeah. That is great.
John, when you join us, we'll have to talk about that, man.
Well, what was that one song? Pretty Women, Faster Horses. What was that John T. Hall song? Always want to have Prettier Women, Faster Horses. I can't remember. John, I bet you know the song that I'm thinking of. Prettier Women, Faster Horses, and something else. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, if you know that song, let me know. We'll bring it up in the comments.
Heath, can you tell me what happened March the 23rd of 1998? And it has to do with Hollywood.
The Viper Room is still somewhat going on out in Hollywood, but I'm guessing it's not that. Does it have to do anything with Pamela Lee Anderson and her husband in a videotape? No? Okay.
It's good. It's positive.
Titanic. Did that come out in 98 or was that 99? I have no idea. What is it?
The Oscars. Now, it was the 70th Oscars presentation, but listen to this. Now, we talk about movies today, but I'm going to tell you 1997 to 1998 had to be one of the best years for movies. Listen to this list, Heath. Titanic, As Good as It Gets, Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential, and Men in Black. Now, Titanic, nominated for 14 awards, took home 11, but the reason I bring this up is because Jack Nicholson won Best Actor and Helen Hunt won Best Actress for As Good as It Gets, and best supporting role would be the late great Robin Williams.
Yeah, I remember Goodwill Hunting won a couple of little things there. I'll
Best
never forget.
supporting actor winner.
Oh, there you go. I will never forget. Um, I was taking Intro to Cinema
Yep.
with Bob Arnett, Dr. Arnett. We all called him Bob. He was one of the greatest professors I ever had. So his class was like stand-up comedy. Bob had been in several movies. He had written several episodes of TV shows. He was a professor there at Mississippi State. He was from Seattle, Washington, grew up there. And Bob was just an outstanding guy, outstanding professor. And last time I checked on Bob, he was at Old Dominion. But I'll never forget, he came into class. I took that class in the fall of 1996. And Bob came into class and he said, hey, of course, you got to remember the internet's not like booming in 1996. Like, there's email going around, but there's hardly any web pages. But Bob was on like the frontier of surfing the web. And, you know, he would get his news. Like, I thought that was just crazy. Like, you get your news from the computer. Like, I thought that was the craziest thing I ever heard of.
And now we get our news from these things.
Yeah, from our phones. But I'll never forget, he came into class. He goes, hey, there's a big, big deal that just went down just a few minutes ago. And Bob had a lot of friends that were still trying to make it in Hollywood and everything. And they were like in a chat room. That's basically where he was getting his news from, was chat rooms. But he had enough sources on the inside that knew what they were talking about. And Bob said, he said, the guy that directed the Terminator movie, his name's James Cameron.
Yep.
He said he just signed a deal like 20 minutes ago to do the movie Titanic, but he's going to make all these like crazy special effects. And he goes, we're going to take a survey. Who thinks this is going to be a good movie? Why or why not? Nobody in the room thought it was going to be a good movie. But he said, all right, now let's ask the more serious question. Who in here is going to go see the movie? And almost everybody raised their hand, and if not everybody, why or why not? And the most popular answer was, well, I had to read about it in grade school. Oh, I studied about this. I did a book report about it. I did this and that. So the whole thing about the Titanic drew people in. Of course, we hadn't found the ship, I don't think, at that time. Or maybe we have. Yeah, we have found the Titanic at that time.
No.
Have we not? I thought we did. And it doesn't matter. But I remember we were sitting there thinking, you know, this. And he goes, I don't know how he's going to incorporate all the special effects. You remember the Terminator with its special effects? You know, that was cutting edge. I was like, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I know that the budget that they have, it's supposed to be astronomical and like the greatest effects we've ever seen in a movie ever. And I was like, but we all know how the story. I remember raising my hand. He goes, what do you think is not going to be good? I was like, we know how the story ends. Like, I don't want to go see a movie where I know how the story ends. I know the boat's going to sink. Like, I know what's going to happen before it happens. You know, some of the Rocky movies, sometimes Rocky won, sometimes Rocky lost. We didn't know. Titanic, we know that boat is sinking.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people are going to die. There's going to be a couple of survivors here and there, but we know the boat is sinking.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a movie. Was I ever wrong? The entire class was
blockbuster, dude.
Oh yeah, it was massive. I'll never forget this. I had a roommate in college, and he was from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. He was from Pass Christian, and he came in, and I can't remember. There was someone in his family. I don't remember. It was a brother, a cousin. I don't know who it was.
Right,
uncle. I don't know. But he came back with a VCR tape of the movie, and it was still out in theaters. Back then, when the movie's in theaters, like, yeah, it's probably going to be like a year before we get
Right.
the VCR tape and we can rent it. And he came in, he went home one weekend. I want to say he went home for Easter, and he came back and he goes, "Don't ask me how I got this, because I don't even really know how they got it. I just know that my cousin, uncle, whoever, brother had a copy. I made a copy of it, but I got Titanic." And we were like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got Titanic." Every girl in Starkville came to our apartment and watched that movie. Like, it was great. I bet you I spent a month's rent in popcorn alone.
Right.
Everybody, I mean, it was a party almost every night.
And Heath, for those of you who don't know and are of the millennial and Gen Xers, for the VHS when they released it, not one, but it was so long, 2 VHS tapes for the Titanic.
We had it on one. Our quality was not as good.
Right.
The slower you recorded, the worse the quality, but the longer your tape could be.
Right.
If you recorded short, you have better quality, but you got like 2 hours of tape.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted like the 6 hours, it was like crap quality. And we had like the crap quality, but we had the whole movie.
Right.
So,
now, getting back briefly to 1998 to the Oscars, did not know this, but here's a little bit of an interesting fact for you. Best screenplay written directly for the screen, the winners for Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. How about that? So basically, they wrote the screenplay for Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I remember the story about that. They were kind of both laughed out of Hollywood. Matt Damon had some success as like a teenage actor early in his 20s, but nothing big. I mean, I remember the movie School Ties, and Matt Damon played a guy you didn't like in that movie. But I mean, that's basically that. Just a couple of other small things he had played in, and then and then his buddy there, Ben Affleck had only done a couple of things. He had been in Mallrats, and he had some supportive roles,
Right.
but he had never done anything major as well. And I remember they were writing, and they had the story, and they liked it, and they knew they wanted Robin Williams, and they stalked Robin Williams relentlessly. And he called them crazy. He said he's calling the cops. He's done with them. I mean, he was not a fan, and so finally they convinced him, and it changed all of their lives.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it wasn't for that movie, nobody would know who Matt Damon is now. Nobody would know who Ben Affleck is now. That movie changed the course of their life.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, it was just a feather in the cap,
Yes.
how much we loved Robin Williams, but
the things you learn on the Stingray show, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sure there's plenty of stories out there. I'm sure there's multiple YouTube stories out there talking about Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, stalking Robin Williams to do Good Will Hunting. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that if it wasn't for Robin Williams finally saying yes, or those two being so persistent, success would have never happened for them.
Heath, are you ready to do the birthday with just one, or finish up with a history of something in 99?
Let's do the history. Why not?
All right. Which song is released in 1999 and goes on to sell over 8 million copies?
All right, say it
It
again.
blew up. What song was released in 1999 that sold over 8 million copies? It blew up. Everybody was saying this catchphrase.
First thing that comes to mind, and I don't think this is right, but the first thing that comes to mind is Getting Jiggy with It with Will Smith, because that
No.
song was played nonstop. And everyone
No.
kept saying, Get jiggy with it. Like, stop. Grandma will say, Getting jiggy with it. Stop. 99. Man, Matchbox 20 is huge at the time.
It's a single guy. One single guy.
Please don't say Livin' La Vida Loca.
Ricky Martin.
Oh, man, it was huge, and I hated it from day one. I hated it day one. Livin' La Vida Loca. Like, the girl in the video was cute, but you still had to listen to the song. Like, just mute it if you're going to watch it.
Right. That was released on this day in 99, and it went on to sell over 8 million copies.
You know, Ricky Martin was in a band, a Mexican boy band called Menudo.
Right.
And I don't remember any of Menudo's song, but I do remember on Saturday morning cartoons, they had like this little catchphrase, jig, promo, whatever, but it was like, it's Menudo on ABC, Menudo. And there was all these guys just dancing and singing and, you know, having fun and doing whatever in California on the beach. And like living a lifestyle I had no idea living in South Haven, Mississippi.
Right.
You know, but I was like, yeah, Menudo, they're cool. Couldn't tell you one song about Menudo. I don't think I've ever heard a Menudo song, but it was Menudo on ABC. They had a lot of fun. But yeah, Ricky Martin was part of Menudo, and I remember when he was coming out with that album, they were like, Ricky Martin. He was in a boy band called Menudo. I was like, I remember Menudo. I was like, yeah, I'll see what this song's about. When I heard the song, I was like, oh my gosh, I hate this. And yeah, I was back in 1999. I was listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner. I was listening to a lot of classic rock. Like I was exploring rock that I wasn't completely familiar with. That was been huge when I was a kid or before I was born. And yeah, I was listening to some Pink Floyd. I was doing that during my college years. I listened to, you know, regular pop music as well, whatever was playing, top 40 stuff. But I listened to it, but I really wasn't into it. But if I was in the car driving somewhere, like it was a lot of Led Zeppelin, a ton of Leonard Skinner, and probably a little bit more Jimmy Buffett too. So yeah, there you go. David, were you a fan of the song? It's okay if you were. Most people were. I'm like the minority.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
I just remember that stupid shirt he wore in the video. I remember the girl in the video, but I just remember that stupid shirt he wore in the video. And I was like, oh my gosh, stop this La Vida Loca stuff. And I remember this when we found out he was gay, everybody was shocked because I remember all the girls was like, he's beautiful. He could have any woman on earth. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of weird. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, I did, John. I did. I did love the 99, 2000 school year and no. 98, 99 and 99, 2000. I was there for 2 years. So thoroughly enjoyed my time there. My grades actually went up when I moved in. That's usually the opposite. My grades actually went up when I moved into the house. I can tell a lot of stories, but I don't want to tell them live.
Heath, today is the birthday. We're going to finish up with the birthday of a woman who was born in 1953. She is 72 years old. She is known for R&B, funk, pop, and disco. She has won 11 Grammy Awards, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and she is known as the Queen of Funk. Who am I talking about?
Queen of Funk? Who's the Queen of Funk?
Her first hit ever with the band Rufus. Tell me something good, Chaka Khan. Chaka
Shaka
Khan.
Khan. Shaka Khan, yeah. I didn't know she was the Queen of Funk. I learned something today.
Yep.
I learned on the Stingray show.
So, today is the birthday of 72-year-old Chaka Khan. So, happy birthday to her.
Wow, Shaka Khan is 72, huh? God bless her. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Steven, any funk music? I was also listening to some funk music back in '99. George C. Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelics. You a big George C. Clinton fan?
Never heard of it.
Oh, man. Atomic Dog, Flashlight. I mean, Steven, you
Dude,
me,
back in the 90s, I was country all the way. Garth Brooks, Toby Keith, Clint Black, Travis Tritt, Hank Jr., man. The 90s for me was where the country really was. This country nowadays is bull crap compared to the 90s, man.
And I know why. Well, at least I think I know why. Don't get me wrong. I love Garth. I've seen Garth in concert 3 times. Like I will drive a time zone over to watch Garth.
Yeah.
Love Garth. Even if he is a serial killer. But not going down that rabbit hole.
No.
I still think that's funny that people think that Garth Brooks. And if he is, okay, he is. I hope he's not. I just think it's so outlandish. But I also thought Chris Gaines was outlandish. But anyway. But love Garth. Garth ruined country music, man. He completely ruined, because Garth was the first to kind of do this rock country thing, and then it was so popular, like everybody's doing it now, and it sucks.
Yes,
it just sucks. I love classic country music. I love some Conway Twitty.
Yeah,
I like some Merle. But just the old guys, Johnny Cash, Hank.
Yeah.
Hank didn't change. We still love Hank.
George Strait, dude. I mean, you can't go wrong with George Strait. You can't do wrong with John Anderson, man.
Thank you.
Some of those guys, that Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam is right up there with one of the best country music twangers, dude.
I mean, I don't get the whole rocking country, like it just sucks. And the women do it, and the groups do it, and I'm just kind of like, stop, just stop.
And I tell you, I don't want to say this.
Everyone does it. Like here's the great thing: the group Alabama.
Yeah.
When an Alabama song starts, and they all start differently.
Yeah.
But when an Alabama song starts, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's an Alabama song.
Yeah.
It's, and they've got so many different variety songs. Or say Aerosmith. I know Aerosmith's not country, but when an Aerosmith song comes on, it's an Aerosmith song because all Aerosmith songs sound alike. Alabama songs, they all sound different, but you still know it's an Alabama song.
Yeah.
But the stuff today is just, I stopped listening to country music back shortly after Garth hit the scene back in 1990. By 1992, 93, I had dropped country music completely. I was done with country music. I was
I tell you another guy who kind of ruined it and kind of pulled it into the pop genre. And you actually met this guy one time. Little short shit Kenny Chesney, dude.
Did you just call me?
I mean, dude, come on, man. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I've got a couple of Kenny Chesney songs that I do like, but dude, come on, man. I get real tired of. I get so tired of his Playboy kind of thing. I'm sick of it, man.
Oh man.
And yes, I did call him that.
like Kenny Chesney, he's got a couple of good songs.
Yeah.
And I get it. He wanted to be the Jimmy Buffett of country music.
Like Beer in Mexico. Okay, that's a good song. Okay, but I mean, all of the other ones are just kind of.
and you can call me a hater. I'm okay. I'm not hating. I'm just calling it what it is. But I saw through Kenny Chesney right from the get go. Like, you are a Jimmy Buffett wannabe. You're Fred's dollar store. Jimmy Buffett is who you are. You
Thank
know,
you.
and God bless him. I mean, if I could live like Jimmy Buffett, I would like to live like Jimmy. If I had Warren Buffett money, I would live like Jimmy Buffett. I would. And so, I never thought of that, Kay. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I always thought he was generic from the get go, and I still kind of look at him as generic, although he is uber. His bank account looks nothing like mine, and I wish mine looked like his. But
Right.
nothing. And hey, if I could copy somebody and do well, okay, God bless me. Good for me. But I don't know, man.
Right.
He was always a Jimmy Buffett ripoff to me. I was like, all right, whatever, man.
So today I have hated on Bill Self and Kenny Chesney. That's a hell of a Monday, man.
There's a trillion things I got to do today, and I'm rambling now, and I'm extending the show. But like, the one thing about Jimmy Buffett that I respect, no, okay, we're not telling the story. Not today.
No.
Not today.
No.
Not today, Kay.
We'll do it tomorrow or some other time, man.
I got to mentally prepare myself for that one. But but no, Jimmy Buffett, like, he failed in country music. Like,
Yes.
no label, no record company would sign him.
Right.
Nobody would touch him. And he failed in Nashville. And then, he was doing his thing. And so, but he wasn't yacht rock. He wasn't soft rock. He wasn't country music. He wasn't reggae. But he was all those things.
Right.
And so, and people, after he started getting traction and started selling a little bit, the country music in Nashville kind of came back to him. They were like, hey, if you do this and do a little bit more country, you can win country awards. You could be up for Album of the Year or Artist of the Year, or we can do this for you, or we can let you perform on the show. And Jimmy stood his ground. He's like, no, I'm good. And then soft rock, hey, Jimmy, if you do this, we can put you in this category, and we'll make you soft rock, and we can promote this and put you on this and get you some videos on MTV and make this happen. No, I don't want to do that. Reggae, hey, Jimmy, if you do this, we could do this for you, and we can kind of make you the pioneer of this. No, I don't want to do that. And so, although he was soft rock, country, reggae, soft rock, he was all these different things. Everyone kept putting him in a category, and they kept trying to put Jimmy in a box, and Jimmy said no, and it cost him a lot of awards. It cost him because like, hey, in country music, we're going to put these people into the Music Hall of Fame, and we're going to put these rock groups and these rap groups. Jimmy doesn't have a group,
right?
And so it's kind of one of those things where, well, we don't know how to measure his sales against other artists in his genre. He doesn't have a genre.
Mm-hmm.
He created his own space.
Right.
And that's what you got to love about Jimmy, because Jimmy tried the country music thing. He didn't have traction. He did his own thing, got traction, and then everybody wanted to change. He was like, no, I'm good. I'm good at who I am. And that's why we love him, man. But yeah, it's crazy because he missed out on a lot of other money and things, but at the same time, it paid off for him at the end.
Yes.
He wouldn't reform. So it's one of those things that you just gotta you tip your hat to. I mean, I'm rambling now. I've been rambling for a while, but Dave Ramsey on the radio, he won the Marconi Award years ago, but they keep telling him, hey, Dave, if you just start doing this, hey, Dave, if you stop talking about credit cards, we can get credit card companies to back you on this. Dave, if you do this, you can. And Dave's like, nope, I'm going to be my own man. I'm not selling out to any company. And it cost him so much money at the beginning of his career.
Yep.
But later on, oh my gosh, the man has cashed out. God bless him. I mean, he didn't reform. He stayed true to himself, stayed true to his format. And you got to tip your hat to people like that.
Right.
I mean, you also tip your hat to people who do reform and fall into a group. Like Kenny Chesney. He has made a ton of money. he has made a ton of money by reforming and make it more country. God bless him for it. I don't know the story, John. The things we have learned on the Stingray Show today.
Yeah. Thank you for that, John. I appreciate that, man.
That's fun stuff. For people who are just listening and not watching, John asked us, do we know the story of the song, You Are So Beautiful?
Yeah.
And then he followed it up with this, and he said, Billy Preston wrote You Are So Beautiful. He wrote it to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But Buffett kind of left a few words out, and it was a popular song.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's crazy to see. I mean, you look at Ray Charles. He took a lot of gospel songs, praise songs, gospel songs, not praise songs, and yeah, that's cool, John. True
Thank
story.
you. Appreciate that.
But you did a lot of gospel songs and things, and changed it a little bit, sped it up, and put his music to it. And a lot of people are upset with Ray Charles about that. But there's only so many music notes, Stephen. There's only so many music notes. You got to repeat some of them, right?
Heath, this has been a blast. Oh my gosh, for a Monday morning, this has been fun. We will continue with the fun tomorrow when we will talk about a rivalry game, regardless of what sport. However, it is going to happen this weekend in Oxford, Mississippi in baseball. David Johnson of Ole Miss 365 and Steve Robertson both join us on the Tuesday edition of the Stingray Show to talk about the big in-state matchup this weekend of Mississippi State and Ole Miss, the Egg Bowl of the Diamond. And then on Wednesday, we're going to the state of Alabama and talk about Alabama and Auburn this weekend on the Diamond. So the next 2 days will be about two of the matchups this weekend in SEC baseball play.
Always ready to talk about SEC baseball, especially this time of year. SEC play just started.
Dude, when it's rivalries, takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, especially if there's beef or in-state or any of the above. It's all the above in most of the rivalry games here. And whether it's Tennessee and Vanderbilt, Alabama, Auburn,
Georgia, Florida.
And so, although they're two different states, but those players know each other. They've been playing with and against each other for years. And so they know each other. So, this is where it gets fun because you know what's coming and sometimes you can't stop it. And or you know it's coming and you can't do anything to stop it. And so it's can't wait.
Yeah. All right. And also tomorrow night in Starkville, we will also ask Steve Robertson about the midweek game because Southern Miss comes to Starkville after beating Mississippi State earlier this year down in Hattiesburg. So we're going to talk about that game as well.
Do you happen to know who won that game yesterday between Southern and Troy? I know it was the rubber game.
Southern, so they took the series.
I was a little shocked when I saw Southern going into a rubber game on a Sunday with Troy, and I was like, wow, what happened to Southern? So there you go. So Southern Miss hitting on all cylinders, and we'll go from there. I know what park it is. I want to say that the left field lounge, their spot out there is still available. Or you can still go see them out there in the lounge in their spot. rumor was when I was in school, our spot was closer to center field, and someone forgot their paperwork, and we got stuck on the end. So that still makes me mad knowing that. But so many of the other fraternities don't even have a spot out there. It's kind of crazy, but
All right.
It's been a while since I've been to the lounge, Steven. It's been so long since I've been to the lounge. I really want to go, but I ain't got time.
Heath, this weekend is going to be fun. Tomorrow's show is going to be fun. Hey, the Stingray show is taking it to new heights, my friend, with exciting, interesting, and fun discussions like we had today, and we will keep it going for you guys tomorrow right here on the Stingray show.
I got to get a haircut, Steven. Look at this, man. What's going on here?
I have no idea.
What is this?
But, dude, I'm glad that you are still above the weather, because you were under the weather on Friday. I'm glad you're feeling better, and we will catch you tomorrow.
And did it all with little sleep this weekend.
All right, say your catchphrase so we can get out of here.
Good Lord willing. Sayonara. We'll see you tomorrow.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Moundville has been a name clients can trust. The Bank of Moundville is more than just a bank. They're your neighbors, your friends, and your community partners. Their unique approach to financial education has always centered around families. They believe that financially strong homes today lay the foundation for a brighter futures for tomorrow's generation. You can call them today at 205-371-2227. Once again, that is 371-2227 to schedule an appointment to build your financial security. The Bank of Moundville is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender. It's a new year, and now is the best time to review your insurance policies. With a helpful customer service team here to serve you in Alabama and over in Mississippi for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs, call the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha Insurance to create a customized plan to protect your family's home and autos. You can stop by his office at 3428 McFarland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or simply call 205-462-8192, or call the number on your screen right there. And remember, with Alpha Insurance, the more you protect it, the more you save. Reach out to the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha today for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Ferguson of South's Finest Meats, the official sponsor of the Stingray Show, has a message for you.
Everything we do here is fresh and custom made, custom to order. I tell people when they come in, if you don't see what you like, ask somebody. We've got the capability to process it, make it. If you want a different blend of hamburger meat, we'll do your brisket blend. We'll do your chuck blend. We'll do your sirloin blend. We do all that right here. We are a butcher shop. That's what we do. So please don't be afraid to ask if you don't see what you like. We can make you any size patty you want. We can make you any amount you want. People call me and say, well, how many patties come in the box? Well, ma'am, how many would you like in a box? You want 12, we'll put 12. You want 25, we'll put 25.
That's just one of the many things that South's Finest Meats has to offer, the official butcher shop of the Stingray Show.